Hello. In this video I'm going to show you how to disassemble and reassemble the EPSON SMD 1000 diskette drive. It's a 3.5 inch drive which is used in some laptop style computers. It has a slightly smaller form factor than a standard drive, and it comes with a flat flex cable. The device that I'm going to disassemble and reassemble is without the flat flex because I snatched the connector. So other than that, it should be just normal. So first thing you got to do is remove this screw. That's with a Phillips one. Then you can remove the upper lid. The next thing is you want to remove the front and the little door that closes. You do that by pushing on these things here. And it is a little fiddly because there are two places that you need to unlock. One is here. You see that? Zoom in. So one is here, and the other is on the side. If you push them both in, it unlocks. So with that gone, you have to take out the door. The door has a little spring here, which is relatively easy to get out and in. So what I want to do is, or what I like to do is get it out first so that the tension is removed like that. Then you can just remove it like this. All right. The next thing that needs to go out is the mechanism that's holding the whole diskette, well, when it's slided in and slided out. So this is done by removing one screw on the side here, this screw on the side here, this one. And this is not a, well, it's for one, it's a Phillips 0 that you need for that, and for another it is not a real thread, so you need to sometimes just give it a little tension so that it threads out. It's more or less an axis. So, and then with the head in the outermost position, you can just remove that whole. No, sorry. What you need to do then is remove the springs that provide tension to the slide mechanism. And this is easiest with a set of tweezers. I hold the spring here and then remove it from there, but just like so. And of course you need to be careful not to lose these, but they are relatively easy to get in. There's two of those. There's another one on the other side, like here. Same thing. Hold it with your hand, with your finger. Unlock it, remove it. So both springs out. And now the whole assembly can be removed like so. Right? All right. So if you need to remove the head assembly, and I cannot say I recommend that because it is easy to get into alignment issues, you need to remove one screw, and this is this one here. This screw. It has a little piece that holds this rod in place. which is what provides the guidance for the head assembly. There's another screw here. If you remove that, you will de-align the heads, and that will basically kill the drive. So just remove this one, and we want to go back to the right. Yeah, Phillips one. So, like so. And then, of course, you need to remove the cables, this and this. And then the whole assembly can be removed like so. Then you want to give the motor a little twist with your tweezers to move the head forward. And then you can remove the whole head assembly to the side. And that's that. All right. And of course, these go out too. So if you want to do a recap, you also want to remove the PCB. So get out the stepper motor supply. And then there are two screws holding the PCB in place. One is here, this one, and the other one is this one. I think they are Phillips 0. I'm not sure. See. No, they are Phillips 1. One and another. So now getting the PCB out is a little difficult because first you have to push it this way to the back of the drive to remove this ribbon cable, and then you can thread it out. So I'm not sure if I can really show that on camera. Well, this one is easy because I removed it a couple of times. So once you have it in this position, it comes out like so. Okay. So, and this is basically the end of it. There's no need to remove the bottom part unless you want to do something here. Reassembly is a little tricky, but I'm going into that in a moment. So there are two caps on this board. Let me zoom in a little. And those two caps leak, this one and this one. This is a 100 microfarads, 25 volts, and this is a 10 microfarads, 50 volts. And many of these drives are destroyed because this cap leaks and just basically destroys everything. So this is what you want to do. You can just swap them out. So let's try the reassembly. If we get focus, we do. Oh, let's zoom out. So reassembly. Of course, it's just the backwards direction, but there is a couple of catches. So first, get the board in. There's a little plastic here. Then you need to find the right position for the ribbon cable, and then you need to push it in, and that is kind of tricky because you need to apply the force through the cable, but it usually just slides in. You can give it a little deoxide with lubricant if you want to make that easier. So then we have two screws again, the small one with the this one, and then this one is a little different. It has this, I don't know what it is called. It is like a little hat that just provides some support for the board. So then next thing is getting the head assembly back in, and that's done by. So what I want to do is I hold this little retainer in place while I push the thing in. Now you need to push the rod back a little. All right, so that went well. And then you can already move the head back a little if you want. So then next thing is installing those two head data cables. Well, let me screw it back in first. So screw it back in. That's that. Now get the head cables back in. All right. It's not so easy to get this wrong because one is after the other, but I probably did it wrong right now. So yes, I did. So let's see. They mustn't cross, of course. Otherwise, you'll not be able to read disks from another drive. So, and then finally the stepper motor cable, which goes into the socket closer to the back of the drive. All right, and now the head should move freely if you provide some movement here, and you want to return it back to the 0 position because otherwise you cannot easily get in the mechanism. So now next thing is, if you want to lubricate, you can clean and lubricate this, but in my experience these drives don't really have sticky lubricant, so you can just leave it as is. So there are, on the side of these things, like here, there are little plastic parts that easily get lost and that provide for easier rolling, so I would be careful not to lose them. There are 4 positions that have them, so you have one here, you have one here, and on the other side there are 2 as well, so here and here. There we go. So these 4 need to be in place. Okay, and then it's basically the backwards direction. There is this little trick that you need to know. So the little difficulty that you can encounter is getting the eject button and the mechanism properly aligned when you reassemble it, and that is a little fiddly. What I like to do is make sure that they are the top. So if you look at this side, there is this roller here is really down in the drive. This one sticks up a little bit. You can only see it from the side, of course. So the reason is that there is a slot in this plastic part which you need to slot in the whole mechanism so that it works well. And this is connected to this metal piece here. So let's see if we can find that slot. Now that we have the slot, and when you have found the slot by just wiggling on the plastic here and trying to put it back in, then eventually you will see that the thing aligns the same way that you have the alignment here. Those 2 things align well, and then you can reinstall the screw from the side to lock the thing in place, and again that's a 0. Again, there's no threads, so you just basically put it in. It's more or less an axis. Now next thing is to reinstall the springs. You want to, like so, you want to hold this part in place, move it to the side, and now with the tweezers you can pick up the spring. And first, let's see, let me zoom in a little so that you can see better. So you want to pick the damn springy spring where it is. All right. So you want to install it right here. In the lower half of it. So, and now you can just put it like this. And still holding the little metal piece on the top, you turn it around and install the, let me see if I can put this in without obscuring the camera, like so. Oh crap. All right, now it's in. And now the whole thing is stable and you can just put it to the table. It doesn't move anymore. And finally, you put in the door. Like so. See? All right. So if you look at this spring goes in right here. Oh, do you want to come? All right, so it pushes up the thing and then you, ah, crap. Let's try again. So it goes in right here, then on the other side, like so. Then it needs to be over, so it needs to be on the inside of this, and now you can apply the tension. All right. You see, push it in, it goes back up, back to the front. Now, next thing is the front bezel. And finally, top part, last screw. All right, this is it. Disassembly, reassembly of the EPSON SMD 1000.